The food and drink industry at the moment has amazing momentum. Despite all the tough economic times that we're all living in, the food and drink industry is surging ahead. It's our best performing domestic sector just now, it's our fastest growing export sector, and we're really starting to realise what we've known in Scotland for a long, long time, which is we're living in probably the finest natural larder on earth. We're surrounded with the most incredible produce, whether it's our red meat and salmon and seafood or our bakery products, our world famous whisky industry, and we're now really starting to make the most of that. And that means building up Scottish brands in domestic markets, but probably the real step change is coming internationally now. We're finally starting to get into some real export markets, not only the traditional export market we've been in Europe and the USA, but moving into Asian markets like China and Japan. And there are some global trends happening there which fit perfectly for Scotland. There's a wealthier, more affluent population across the world. They're interested in premium products, and Scotland does premium. We're not a low-cost nation. We don't do cheap food, we do good food very, very well. And that taps into these markets and these emerging markets more and more. But more than that, we're seeing some real trends around healthy living and healthy food. So we're having to constantly think how we can promote the healthy provenance of Scottish food. We have incredible soft fruit. We have the superfood that is oats grown in Scotland. So we've got this incredible array of ingredients that we can use to tap into that healthier market. But there are other trends too that we're having to adapt to. Sustainability is a big agenda for everyone. All the resources we need to produce our food are becoming more finite, they're becoming more expensive. We've got to think of better and smarter ways to use those resources. Really, we need to produce more with less. And beyond that, we need to be thinking about how we can think about packaging. Can we come up with smarter packaging? We've got to reduce waste right across the whole supply chain. So we need real innovation if we're going to capture the markets that we know are out there for us. I suppose any industry ultimately comes down to the people. You need world-class talent at the core of your industry if you're going to do anything. And I remember when I was at school, people used to say, work hard or you'll end up working in that food factory, as though the food industry was just some sort of place where you went if you couldn't do anything else. What we now need is world-class food nutritionists, food technologists, we need experts in packaging, we need people that know logistics inside out, and we need expertise that spans right through the supply chain, from farm to fork, from seed to shelf. So we need agronomists, crop experts, and that's the kind of talent that we need to come through our universities and academic sector. But there's a huge amount of willingness amongst companies to take on young people and train them and develop them. We're not expecting ready-made experts to come into the business, but come in with enthusiasm and ambition, and we can work with them and develop the kind of world-class expertise that's going to make the food and drink industry tick over the next few years. It probably sounds a cliche, but we've tried to develop a one-stop shop with the food and drink industry. So through Scotland Food and Drink, this relatively new organisation, we've only been going 5 years, we've tried to bring everyone that has a role to play in food and drink under one roof. We've got all the universities working with us. Projects like Interface Food and Drink, the Food Health Innovation Service, are bringing the expertise we know exists in our research institutes and academic institutions into one place. We've got 315 food and drink companies that are now members of ours, all the major trade associations operating in individual sectors, whether that might be red meat or whisky or bakery or seafood, they're now operating under one roof. So we've got a real collaboration and collectivism that's been developed over the last few years. So for anyone who's got a question about how do they get into the industry, is the industry for them, there's now a ready built house of expertise, if you like, that people can tap into.